Dimitri and Kira emerged from the swirling purple light, stumbling onto solid ground. The air was different here, heavy, with a strange electric charge that prickled their skin. Everything around them was bathed in an unsettling purple hue, like the sky itself had been tainted by Barney's corrupting influence. The ground beneath their feet felt real, but there was a disorienting otherworldliness about the landscape.
You okay?
Dimitri asked, his voice shaky as he dusted himself off, glancing over at Kira. She nodded, breathing heavily.
Yes, I think so. What? Where are we?
Dimitri looked around, trying to make sense of their surroundings. They stood on a cracked and weathered highway, but the place felt abandoned, like it hadn't seen human life in ages. No cars passed by, and the few that were there were overturned or rusted, lying forgotten on the side of the road. Potholes and weeds consumed parts of the asphalt, making the highway look like a relic of a time long forgotten.
I don't know,
He admitted, glancing behind them.
but I don't think we can go back.
Kira turned and tried stepping back toward the portal, but it flickered and dissipated, vanishing like a mirage. She let out a frustrated breath.
Great. Now what?
Dimitri stepped beside her, his eyes narrowing as he looked ahead down the highway.
We moved forward. We need to figure out where we are.
Together they began walking down the road, the eerie purple light casting long shadows as they made their way through the strange and desolate landscape. There was something hauntingly familiar about this place, though neither of them could place it. The silence weighed heavily on them, broken only by the occasional crunch of gravel under their shoes. Every so often, Kira glanced over her shoulder, half expecting to see Barney or one of his twisted followers creeping out from the shadows. After what felt like an hour of walking, they came across a large weathered sign by the side of the road. The letters were faded and chipped, but they were still legible. The problem was, the writing was in a language neither of them could understand.
That's ancient.
Kira muttered, frowning at the sign.
English, right? One of those dead languages.
Dimitri nodded, pulling out his phone.
Yeah, it died out after the fall of Earth, but I think I can translate it.
He opened a translation app, holding his phone up to the sign. As the app processed the text, Dimitri's heart began to race. When the words finally appeared on the screen, his breath caught in his throat. Welcome to Wisconsin. He turned to Kira, his face pale.
We're back on Earth.
Kira's eyes widened as the realization hit her. The ancient sign, the desolate highway, the strange decaying world around them. It all made sense now. They had somehow been transported to the ruined remains of the planet their ancestors had fled over a millennium ago.
But Earth's supposed to be dead.
Kira whispered, her voice trembling.
Uninhabitable. No one's been here in over 1,000 years.
But it looks like someone, or something, is still here.
The weight of their situation settled heavily on them. They weren't just lost, they were stranded on a planet that had long been abandoned, a place filled with the twisted remnants of a world that had fallen to ruin. And somewhere in this forsaken land, Barney and his congregation lurked, waiting. Dimitri took a deep breath, gripping his baseball bat tightly.
We need to figure out where we are exactly, and more importantly, how we can get out of here.
Kira nodded, steeling herself.
Let's just hope we're not too late.
As they continued walking down the highway, the purple hue deepened, and the ominous feeling that had hung in the air grew heavier.